It is cold. It's really cold here.
Some people keep commenting, are you throwing that stuff right off the lighthouse?
What kind of waves do you experience out there? Here's a pretty standard day. Whenever you can see those white caps, you know it's not going to be fun to get on and off the lighthouse.
You might say, well, that still looks horrible. And I agree. It really does look bad.
Our mission is to save these incredible abandoned lighthouses using new technology while preserving the history and helping the environment of the Chesapeake Bay. This is Project Lighthouse.
Good morning, folks. Just take a look around in the morning here. There's a ship in the distance. It is cold. It's really cold here. It's warmer than it is in Pennsylvania. It went down to negative something at my house in Pennsylvania last night, and I'm happy that I wasn't there, other than I'm worried about like pipes freezing and stuff. It's really cold at the lighthouse. It was freezing last night, even with the heat on in the bedroom. And right now, the sun came out. It's beautiful. In the sunlight, it's not too bad. It's like, it seems almost like it's colder inside the lighthouse than it is outside because of the sun this morning. I just want to say, I'm very excited for spring. I cannot wait. This is a beautiful place to be in the spring and in the summer. We are dedicated to making progress even when it's super cold like this. At my slightest resistance to come out, Thomas says we have to keep making progress, which is true.
All right, we're gonna get to work on cleaning up a bit. We're gonna start with
the entranceway. Start where we come into the lighthouse. Could call it the foyer, whatever. And we just have piles of paint chips and stuff. And the good thing is, like, as you come down, we're slowly cleaning the lighthouse accidentally. Like, as you come down the stairs, if you grab a railing, then it just... But yeah. we want to get this to stop happening. Let's try this vacuum thing that I bought. So the paint chip should end up in a bucket, which will be easier for us to dispose of.
Safely off the lighthouse.
Yes, not thrown in the bay.
Some people keep commenting, are you throwing that stuff right off the lighthouse?
No, not are you throwing. They're commenting, so you're just throwing all the trash in the bay? Nice.
Yeah. Yeah, we're not doing that. Maybe I'll start up here and kind of clean up here and work my way down and meet Rich on the bottom. How's this gonna look on my butt? I wonder if my butt looks big.
In case you want to promote it. Yeah, I don't. This is not an audio section.
You sound like a Peanuts character on the phone.
Yes, ma'am?
We're accumulating a lot of paint chips. We don't want to be filling up the vacuum over and over and dumping it out. So I bought this thing. They call it a dust collector. This one happens to be by Shop Vac. There are several different manufacturers of them. And the question is, does it work or is it just a gadget? So we're going to try it out. Right now the bucket's empty. I haven't tried it out yet. And it's supposed to collect the bigger particles in the bucket before it gets to the dust collector. And it's extra useful for us because we're sealing up those buckets, lowering them down with a rope down onto a boat and taking it back to land. So let's try this thing out.
Well, it's definitely working.
All right, so we did a little section clean enough to eat off of. The great thing is a vacuum is exhausting out there, so any microparticles will not be blown around in the air on the inside of the lighthouse. So we're actually just taking the air out. So let's take a look, see what it looks like in here.
Definitely doing something.
Could be just blowing around. So it seals very nicely to the bucket. And do you think it's about what I collected? So that was only like, 30 seconds of vacuuming. We did a section there, and all this would have been inside the vacuum. So I'm glad it's in the bucket instead. So I'll keep using it. It worked well, didn't cut down noticeably on the efficiency of the vacuum. The suction was still great. I'm gonna fire it up and do some more. So we're working on a lighthouse that does have some problems. It's really old, and some of these boards are gonna have to be replaced.
Like this one?
Yeah, like this one, for example, it's pulling out. It's always great when we get a sponsor for a product that we need at the lighthouse. We have the Fantic A10 Pro. This is a really nice digital laser tape measure. You go to measure something, all you have to do is hold it to the edge there, and it automatically, yeah. So then hit the button here, and it saves it exactly. See, that's exactly 3 and 15/16, not 4, but 3 and 15/16. You can change your units, imperial or metric. I'm sure we've all been in a situation where you had to say to someone, Thomas, can you hold the tape measure at the other end of the room? And then they don't hold it in the right way and you get annoyed or whatever.
Especially me.
Yeah, so I'm gonna switch it to laser. All I have to do is hold that against the wall, shoot it across the room. Cool. 130 inches. So you can see the height of the ceiling. Cool. Is the lighthouse level? The A10 Pro has a feature called Bubble, where it actually measures level in all 4 directions. And look at that, nailed it. Cool. The lighthouse is virtually level.
I'm actually surprised. Well, it's a couple.
But
could be the paint chips under
it. Could be the paint chips. It has a threaded mounting point, USB-C charging, and quick release to bring the tape back in. Yoink.
Fantic A10 Pro digital laser tape measure is running 30% off sale on Amazon now, and use our code Lighthouse8 to get an extra 14% off. Thank you, Fantic, and now back to the lighthouse.
Oh, how far away is that bird? What kind of bird is it? Oh, it's a gull.
Thank you. All right, so let's vacuum upstairs, and we're gonna see how that bucket containment thing works.
I would give it maybe a 5 out of 10 at the most. There was a little filter on the end going out that clogged, so I removed it. And what I'm seeing is that a lot of the chips are going inside, cycloning around, and I think a lot is going back out to the vacuum. But it did accumulate some. You can see it's about, almost a half full.
Cool.
And it's pretty heavy. So that's a lot of stuff that would have gone in the vacuum.
So it kind of works.
Yeah, it does something.
I mean, it's saving some. I mean, that's
Yeah.
all stuff that would have just filled up a bag. So that's good.
Mm-hmm.
So that was a little annoying. This is what it looks like. Definitely much better than it was. I got all the crap that was on the floors here, down the steps, and then it'll be much nicer because now we won't have this paint getting pulled up into our clean room. So then I just have to do this floor. Let's check in on Rich. What's going on?
I'm up to being frustrated. I've tried all these tools for scraping. Obviously we can't sandblast out here. A lot of people say, why don't you just bring a sandblaster? Sandblasting doesn't work on soft wood with hard paint on it. It just destroys the wood, brings up the grain and stuff. And paint strippers come with their own set of problems. They are messy. They don't always work, depending on different kinds of paint. Sometimes you have to do multiple applications in order to get through multiple layers of paint. Also, then you have to clean the paint stripper off the wood when you're done, which is nice when you have lots of water and sinks and stuff, which we don't have here. And then, because if you don't get it out, then it can cause the paint to lift again that you apply to it. So having all these surfaces where paint stripper would get in, it would be a big mess. So we started scraping last week, and I was pretty happy with how it was going, like a lot of projects do. You have this area that goes pretty well, and then I ran into this. This green paint is extremely hard. Whatever the Coast Guard guys were using back then, look how thick it is. So I tried a power scraper, an oscillating tool with a scraping thing on it. It didn't work, and it gouged the wood very easily if you didn't have it at the right angle. Trying some different scrapers, regular scraper, I even attached one to a longer handle so I could reach up. What seems to work the best is a very sharp scraper at like a 90-degree angle, and it's very slow.
That'll take forever.
Yeah, I'm not thrilled about it. Now this stuff will go okay, but as soon as we hit the green stuff, it's really hard and flakes off, so we'll see. I don't want to do it right now because I'm not wearing eye protection.
Yeah, okay.
But I'm a bit frustrated. I think we'll get it. It's just trying some different tools.
That vacuuming took forever. God, I was vacuuming for what, an hour and a half?
Well, it was a lot of stuff. It wasn't
Everyone's
just like vacuuming your house.
Everyone's going to watch it and they'll be like, oh, they vacuumed for 10 minutes.
Yeah, time lapse is nice.
Yeah.
No one wants to watch us do something for 2 hours.
But I just have this room left. All the upstairs is good. And then, maybe I'll come in and start helping you.
Yeah, as soon as you're done up there, then we can move down and do this area.
So someone just asked recently, what kind of waves do you experience out there? Here's a pretty standard day. And there's some pretty decent waves rolling in. And it doesn't look that bad from up here, but if you're down there on a boat trying to climb onto Lighthouse with the current, that can be pretty difficult to deal with. Basically, whenever you can see those white caps, it's not going to be fun to get on and off the Lighthouse. So we specifically plan our trips very carefully on days that the wind is relatively low, so we can get out here and then it can pick up, and then as long as there's a lull again, we can get picked up and leave the Lighthouse. But again, these are about 13-mile-an-hour winds, and you can see the waves. They're a couple feet already, so it's going to get bad later. We'll get to see that.
Yeah, so Rich is currently...
I'm abandoning that idea.
All right, he's abandoning that, but...
Because it could, if it gets turned on, then it would short itself out.
Let me know if anyone does time-lapsing and filming, because we need a solution to not constantly swapping millions of little batteries. Here's my system over here. Okay, so we're adding a work sink to our kitchen, which is this guy. Just a little sink, and then we'll do some kind of pump that will hook up to it. So currently we're washing our hands in buckets, which is not very fun, and we just have a little water thing downstairs. we go. Got its wang thingy. Oh, doesn't feel very tight. Shit.
Let's keep things organized
Looks
as we
messy.
go along.
Hear that, guys? Keep things organized.
As we go along, yeah.
It's great working with your dad because he constantly gives you advice on what you're doing.
Hey, if you were any other employee, I would say the same thing. You have to keep your work area organized.
You making any progress?
Yes. I've determined that I'm freezing.
That'll do. Our kitchen is looking kitchen-y. All right, so there's the sink. Hooray. Well, we're hooking up water. Pump, pump, pump. All right, so house power 120, and then this tiny pump.
Hold on. You can have a cup of milk.
Can I unmic you if you're just going
Are
to be
you done
standing
with
there?
this milk? Pointed right here. Here's the center.
I know, I'm away.
Anyway,
It's pointed at the room.
okay.
Which side? Left, right?
No, the easier to get to one on the right.
Right.
Yeah. It worked?
Yeah.
Wonderful. All right, I'm going to bring up water. Oh my God. I mean, I can see it. Here's the center
It was
right here.
perfect. So this is what happens when you need heated water on an offshore abandoned lighthouse.
Rain Instant Explorer. So this is a camping hot water shower unit with a pump. So it has this nice shower with a switch. And what we're doing with it is we're converting it to work with a regular sink.
Okay,
Okay.
that was easy.
Yeah.
Now what?
And
This would be nice if we want to take a shower during the summer.
yeah, just carry it right outside anywhere on the deck.
Maybe we'll just have
Lighthouse.
another one that we move around for the shower unit.
Yeah.
All right, so now it's
Now
heating,
running, and it's heating.
and the water should be warm, right?
Yeah, it's warm.
Nice. So we got warm water on an abandoned lighthouse.
Yeah. I'm going to cut it down a little bit so, number one, we won't use as much. And number two, it can heat faster if there's less volume coming through. I mean, it feels nice and warm. We have 41-degree water going in. Now we have 90.
All right, so that's our kitchen improvements. We have running water now, which is
Massive improvement.
massive improvement.
Yeah. And we still have to dump.
And we have this table here now too. So our bedroom's coming along. Hopefully we won't be in here that much longer because obviously it's still a mess and we're getting little paint chips every once in a while falling down. So we're trying to get the bottom room done as soon as possible, and then we're going to move down there whenever that's painted and clean, so we have a nice clean room. But little improvements.
check on Rich. Yo. How's it going?
I don't even know how to get this off. It's going okay. I'm working on different techniques, spots in the ceiling that they're not coming off, and then I come back with a different tool at a different angle, and all of a sudden, you know, I can get that section off again. So I can tell by your face this is not the interview that you were looking for.
No, I was just checking in. I think I'm gonna make some dinner, but
okay.
Wanted to run out, and sunset will set soon, so I want to grab that. I'll set up a time lapse, but wow, it's such beautiful weather out here. It's a little windy now, but cool.
Okay, friends, it's 9 p.m. at the Lighthouse, and I'm about to punch out. You see, I got this section of wall done, this, and then behind me, like in this corner, I didn't do that yet. You see how thick that green stuff is? Nasty, super thick, won't come off. I don't know what it is, something really good. But then you hit some other stuff that's kind of brittle and flaky, and you run the scraper and it just scrapes all the way off, and paint rains down upon you, which you see I'm wearing the full PPE, personal protective equipment, full face shield and mask. The more we remove this stuff, the more it's just getting out of the lighthouse, that it won't be kicked around and falling from the ceiling, even though you might say, well, that still looks horrible, and I agree, it really does look bad. But at least it's not raining down upon thee, and every paint chip we get out of here is one less that we have to eventually, and it just feels cleaner to move around and not be walking in piles of paint chips. So there we go. Slowly paint chip lighthouse will turn back into Wolf Trap Lighthouse. All right, so wrapping up, Thomas is working on a video. Look, we got Thomas a table. Guess what? We're stepping up in the world. We have a sink. Among other things we did today was we installed a sink and a portable camping propane hot water heater. Here's our water source. We just dropped the pump in a jug there. And here's our drain system. It drains into a Home Depot bucket. So it works for now. This is like the ultimate camping sink, and a little bit more like home. It's so nice to be able to wash your hands and face in warm water, hot water, instead of cold, because this morning I had to wash my face in, it was, what was it, Thomas, about 35?
Yeah, it was cold.
So we had a jug of water downstairs where there's no heat, and it was quite refreshing way to wake up. We're making baby steps as far as our living condition, and other larger steps getting the lighthouse cleaned up. Have a good night. This is the end of the night video, right, Thomas?
Yeah, it's the end.
Yeah. So we had a good day all around. Another big one tomorrow, Friday. Wrap up and get ready for a big snowstorm this weekend. I don't know where you are in the country, but yeah, they're calling for a lot of snow.